All right, Wealth Nation, we are doing a completely different video than we typically do. As you can see, our studio is right there. We are sitting at our office desk, and we just wanted to have a raw conversation with you because Darius and I just finished going over our own personal budget. And we recognize how important it is for you all to see different aspects of our lives, how we process information, and to also just be real in how this whole process works.
Right. So what we were doing is basically a year review, which we recommend that everybody do at the end of the year. Is how critique yourself on how you did that previous year. And if I was to grade ourselves, I would give us a big D minus. Reason being is with our focus, we've spread our focus across our personal and business, and a lot of things happened this year, our death of our daughter, but there's no excuses for how we didn't manage our budget the way we've normally managed our budget.
Yeah, it kind of all just exploded, and we kept everything together, but the fact that everything exploded and we weren't as organized as we know we can be, so that has been a source of frustration for Darius for months, I would say. And it, not that it hasn't been a frustration for me, but my focus was just elsewhere. I'm like, as long as everything's getting paid, everything's working out, I'm fine with it. And being how analytical I know Darius is, I knew it was just, a matter of time before he exploded. So I would say that's what's happened today. So if we're being real, this was a really tough conversation. We had a big disagreement. Everything came unhinged. Because really what it started with was Darius was like, we are sitting down and having a budget meeting. And I was avoiding it. So we came downstairs, had a budget meeting, and we both had tensions at 100, right? We both came into this rather annoyed. So we know that this doesn't necessarily create the environment of a productive conversation.
Right. And I think we started off with getting our grievances out, but then we had to come to realize that our frustration isn't with each other, is with just our not even our situation. Our frustration is with the previous year and how we handled it together, where we didn't necessarily handle it together. Like Carmen just said, I was focused on one thing and she was focused on something else. Mm-hmm. And that's something that we needed to address so that we can place the frustration in the proper places. Because what we were able to see when we took a look at our finances and the analytics of it is the decisions that we've made previously, and what decisions are we going to make differently based on the numbers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I want to share with those of you who are creating a budget, trying to stick to a budget, and either if you're a partner trying to work through this process, is I think that the biggest thing is to come to the table understanding how the other person operates and likes to see information. So I had to humble myself for a moment and recognize that Darius wants to see all of the details, whereas I am high level, and seeing the details kind of nauseates me. I'm like, let's just get to the point and move forward.
Yeah, line by line. What were we thinking when we decided to make this purchase, and what can we do to do better? Next line. What were we thinking when we made this decision? What can we do next time to make it better?
And for my brain, it just doesn't work that way. But I understand that in order for Darius to feel better about the situation at hand, it was necessary to go there, and I had to chill out and participate lovingly. Because it wasn't lovingly at first, let's be honest, but it got better as we went forward and we were able to have more dialogue.
Yeah, and on my end, I had to dial it back because, again, I was frustrated, and I had to make sure I communicate where my frustration lie, and make sure that I'm not directing all of this energy towards Carmen. I'm directing this energy towards our the decisions that we've made and how we can use this information to move forward.
Yeah, and I think also too with you dialing it back, it was helpful for me because with me just wanting to see the big picture, like just show me the 100,000 foot level. It was helpful when he dialed it back, so we don't have to go every single damn line by line, you know. So it's about give and take, and the reason why I say it's really important for you to get the perspective of the other individual is because you would want the same respect, right? You want to feel heard. You want to feel like you're in it together. And Darius told me straight up that he didn't feel heard. And he said, you know, I'm not supporting him in this. And so when he said that, I had to take a moment. Again, I was pissed because as a couple, you can feel or you can think that you're being supportive, but maybe you're not.
Right.
And it could be better. And it was a check, you know. It was just an opportunity for us to get things in check.
Yeah, and the high level is for me, I'm not being heard because look at this number, and it was just as easy as that. I don't feel like I'm being heard because look at this number. Obviously, when I said the same thing the month before and the month before that, look at the number from last month and the month before that. Obviously, I'm not being heard. So let's sit down and let's have a conversation. Let's go through these numbers line by line to make sure we're on the same page.
And we can laugh about it now. What time is it? It's 2. I think we started this process right around noon.
Mm-hmm.
And it was a process. You know, we were working through it, and now we're smiling. We're affectionate with one another. We've got through the process. But really, what we ended up doing, we went line by line, you know, over the last few months, and just looked at opportunities that we have. And then the other thing too was just like few housekeeping things, right? So since this is the annual review, we typically make all of it. We were making all of our charges on 2 different credit cards. One we were using for just like fixed expenses, and the other one we were using for flexible expenses. But knowing that we are really big into point hacking for travel, we just decided to use one card and focus all of our points to one card, which is a Venture X card. If you are interested in getting a Venture X card, then you can definitely click on the link below. You can use our referral account so that you can try to get points as well. But the whole point that we were looking at was like, okay, are there still transactions that I think there was like a handful, maybe 5 transactions that were still reoccurring on the old card. We had to move those over. We literally went through all of our streaming services to try to evaluate, are we still using Netflix? Are we still using YouTube? Are we still using, you know, whatever it is, and just reevaluate. One thing that I did is I actually looked through all of our streaming services, and although you look at what I'm looking at the amount right here, it's $100 total with all of our streaming services for entertainment. It wasn't that. I think it was
200.
Yeah, it was 200. And then when I did the math times 12, do we want to be spending a little over $2,000 annually on TV? And just having that epiphany was like, no, we don't need any of this stuff. So we were able to streamline that way. So for us, it's not always looking at the budget and trying to like hold back. It's just looking at the budget and trying to figure out how to reallocate funds. Because what we also realized, which was a great thing in my benefit, because for me, it's all about travel. I want to travel as much as we possibly can, and reallocating some funds allowed us to put more money towards our travel budget every single month. So again, it's just trying to figure out what is the main goal, and we both want to be traveling. We both don't want to be not on the same page, and we both want to just have a freedom and understanding everything's going where it should be going, when it should be going, and also giving ourselves grace and knowing that it has been a challenging year. And luckily we have had everything set up. So like things really didn't go astray. It was just more of getting, you know, trimming the hedges, so to speak. And it's been such an amazing growth experience, I would say, for me now reflecting on this, seeing that when you do have your finances in order, when you do have income coming in and you are in control of the income that comes in, you know, what potential you can have for your financial just freedom and your overall peace of mind.
Right. And one thing that we also were able to do is look at the story that our statements told us. We know if we compare it to the previous year, it was us grieving over the loss of our daughter. So when you have some people what they do is they overeat. Some people would maybe go and buy a bunch of clothes that they think makes them feel good.
Yeah, retail therapy.
For us, what we did is we traveled, and we can see as soon as like our daughter passed away how things started to change for us. We stopped doing our budget meetings as frequently as we should. We started spending more money on things without talking to each other because we were having that moment. But and the reason why it's so important that we are aware of that is so that we can talk through it, because obviously we weren't coming to each other with how we felt about the experience. I was feeling a certain type of way, and I didn't want to add that to Carmen. Carmen was feeling a certain type of way. She didn't want to add that to me. So it's really important that you have these conversations, because of the root cause of what got you in whatever financial situation or financial opportunity you're in. You have to be able to address that with all the parties involved.
Yeah. I don't know why that got me emotional. I think it's such a good point, because it's easy to point fingers, right? And also the mature thing to do, which we've been able to do, is recognize again what is the root cause, and maybe there's some other things that we need to be dealing with. I don't know why that got me. Keep talking. What else you got?
So we've mentioned things, and again, this is one of those videos that like we're trying to be as raw as possible. You don't see us behind the camera. We're actually using our cell phone. You don't see us mic'd up, and this is fresh. Like, we still have our computers sitting here with our accounts up, because we just want to make sure that we start the next year the way that we know we should, understanding that we had experiences and we learn from those experiences, because those experiences are the reason why you take the journey that you take.
Yeah. And the other thing, hopefully I can get through this. I will get through this. It was another reminder of what we do, right? So we are life insurance agents, and we sell life insurance. And the best part about life insurance is the freedom that it can give your family should something happen to a loved one. And this year alone has just reinforced exactly what it is that we're doing, why we're teaching it, and how to apply exactly what we're teaching. And so it just made me realize, like, how blessed we have been to have two beautiful girls, and to be able to be a part of our late daughter's life. And also once we received her death benefit, recognizing that we didn't even need it really to sustain our lifestyle. If anything, it allowed to propel our family planning even more. And so it's just amazing growth to see what we've come from, and what we continue to can teach and share with the world. So we just want to thank you guys so much for being a part of our journey. Thank you for supporting us, because every time you watch a video, you have no idea how much it supports our channel and supports our business. So again, thank you for everything that you've done. And again, we just wanted to have a raw and emotional moment with our viewers, so that you all can see another side of Darius and I, and see how things aren't always roses and sunshine. We want it to be roses and sunshine, but we're a married couple. And first and foremost, we are a married couple. We're parents, and we just happen to be in business together. So there are so many different facets of our lives that we don't necessarily share with you, but we figure we should open up the door a little bit more.
Yeah, we're life insurance agents that's experienced loss of a child. There's a lot of things that go into how we're able to do the things that we do, and it doesn't always come from the best place. But the most important thing is life happens, and when life happens, you take that as a part of the experience and a part of your journey that allows you to be who you are.
Absolutely. So thank you very much, Wealth Nation, for taking the time to watch our video and support us again. And remember to own your own lifestyle.
Or someone else will.